Yes, welcome back to the demonstration. Now we are going to showcase how we build an agent using MAF for a given business requirement. Especially the use case what we are going to take here is that when the user connects to our portal, he should be able to freely talk in an agent, ask questions, get clarifications. Some other things are going to come from structured data, some other things are going to come from unstructured data. Okay. So yesterday we were having a conversation with the Claude desktop describing how do we generate synthetic data. Instead of generating the synthetic data directly from the AI, we asked AI model to generate the script which in turn generates the synthetic data, which saves a lot of tokens and context. Make sense? As a developer, I need to build an agentic AI solution using Microsoft Agent Framework, C#.NET, healthcare platform named Nexus HA. In order to build an agentic AI solution, I need now a set of PDF documents, CSV data for my exploration. Can you generate a realistic data set, a Python program which generates the data, which has the following information like doctor, specialty, hospital branch, availability of doctor date and timing, experience, qualification, ratings, some details. And then also need a set of PDF documents, a Python program which generates PDF documents, which describes the following details for my platform. Which hospital, what is the branch, specialties they supported, facilities available, ISO standards, insurance claims, some of the insurance company that you support, pharmacies, blood bank details, emergency wards. Then it was asking some questions. I answered those questions. Ultimately, we got a program which has got all the things. So download all. Right. So we have two scripts. Generate doctors.py, which generates the doctor information. Generate hospital PDFs, which generates PDF documents. Okay. We got a folder called output, which has got a CSV file called doctors.csv. doctor ID, public code, name, specialty. So we given instructions very properly in that, saying that I want to generate the Indian doctor names and the lab details. Can you reach out to this URL? See whether you are able to get the prompt. Okay. Are we good? Right. So now we need PDF documents also. Now see there, for the complete hospital overview, we have that Nexus HA hospital overview. Bangalore branch specific hospital overview. And then the cardiology, we do have cardiology specific Bangalore, common problems, services, specialties, we do support it. So one thing is very clear. We leverage AI to once again generate the data set required for our agentic exploration. Okay, now we have data in our hand. What are we interested? Develop an agent, talk to appropriate tools, get the doctor information, vectorize the PDF documents, make sure that they are available in the vector store so that we can do the RAG query, naturally get the answers. Using what is the framework? We are going to be building the solution? MAF. Does Claude, does GitHub Copilot Pro do know about this? May know, may not know. We don't know. You can ask questions. Hey, do you know how to build an agent using MAF? It will say that I was trained 6 months ago. 6 months ago framework version, I may know how to use them. But it may so happen that the MAF for the latest version may be having the breaking changes. No, you get the point. So how do you teach? First, you have to establish a good connection, a good communication context set. Then tell your problems, come up with a plan, implementation. Okay, let's go on the experience. Microsoft Agent Framework is a Python.NET supported framework. I strongly recommend that you build using AI solutions in Python, expose it as a REST API, use it. Why? Because most of the capabilities that you wish to use are available in open source. They are all by default support Python as a de facto. They may support .NET, they may not support .NET. Suppose there is a crucial library which I need to use it as part of my agentic solutions. Unfortunately, that library provider may become an open source community, may not support .NET at all. So of course, we'll build using .NET. That is not a problem. But the thing is that I recommend to use Python as a preferred language to build AI solutions. Exposed as a REST API, use it in our .NET. Okay. The solution is going to be like this. We develop an agent connecting to our LLM hosted in Azure. We need to build a lot of tools. Some of the tools what we do is that we build using MCP server in .NET. So MCP.NET, how do we use those tools in agent solution, agent, LLM? Then we will add the search capabilities because we need to do some RAG, conversation provider, because someone has to keep track of the conversation history. Other features you can learn as you progress. This is going to be exposed as a REST API, so that we can build a mobile application or client application to talk to this REST API. So relatively a moderate example, not complex example, not a simple example. So this is the URL which has got the MAF overview. We are going to add tools. So tools basically nothing but functions that we can invoke in the agent when the reasoning happens. So I give that reference also, how to build the tools. How we are going to have the conversation, multi-turn conversation means you can go back to the agent and then ask, did you remember what I asked some time back? It will be able to recollect it and give it to you. Remember, LLM doesn't remember that. Agent maintains the history, pass on to the LLM for reasoning. So this one URL. RAG. So by default, this implementation shows that how to use Azure AI Search Collection. There is a in-memory collection also available. So these are all the search service provider by default supported in MAF. We can use in-memory vector store collection. Do we have some samples? Let's go ahead with the GitHub repository. So this is the repository for agent framework. Python, samples, agents, context provider, It is just embedding generation. Okay, here we do have sorry. So here we do have in memory, but this is basically crossing the boundaries of MAF and trying to use a semantic kernel. In memory provider. We'll add that also. Semantic kernel is a previous generation of MAF, previous generation of framework. So we heavily dependent on. Then Microsoft has to revamp it to use this. Yeah. Do we have any examples where I can use RAG and context provider? That is fine. We will stick to that. Yesterday also I faced the same problem, but I was able to solve it. Okay. And there is a MCP support also. Most likely it should be there in the agents, tools, hosted MCP tools. We can switch to .NET. Okay. So the patient, the doctor information we are going to be getting into the agent using MCP tools. And we'll also have some local tools like what is the current location? Where are you located right now? We are located in Bangalore. User doesn't have to say that. We will have a tool called get current location, which will return the current location, current based on the IP address. Current time, current weather, all can be returned to using local tools, and then this doctor information will get it through MCP. So how do I build MCP server? First I have to teach. So is this enough to teach? May not be enough. So let us go to the .NET examples, or we can also use model context protocol directly. Model context protocol. We have C# SDK. Sample. ASP.NET MCP core server 1 month ago. So definitely it is the latest one. Or quick start weather server. Tools. Weather tools. Okay. Now we will give the reference to this. Let's start the development. Close folder. Open folder. C drive. Agentic AI. No, we will build a fresh folder. Doctors MCP. Planning mode. There is a URL. Okay. What is the right way of doing that? Shall we clone the repository weather server because it gets a local one? Let's create a folder called references. View terminal references GitHub git clone. Now C# SDK contains a complete implementation. That is going to be a big challenge for us to build such a thing or feed the context. So quick start weather server is the one which we wanted. Cut, put them into references folder. Delete. Now we have got the only the MCP server .NET development. One simple tool. Got it? Now we have the data doctors.csv file. First, what I'm going to do, I will be asking the Claude, our model saying that learn from the tools, how MCP tools are built. MCP server tools are built. Learn from there. STD server transport. MCP supports basically two different protocols. Standard IO, another one is HTTP. SSE, we call it as, or streamable HTTP. STDIO is for the local server, local MCP servers. If they are running the same system, standard IO is better. Previously, we used to call IPC, right? Inter-process communication. Second option is that remote, streamable HTTP. Right. But the program what is written here is that supporting only standard IO server support. So get some more examples. Here also standard IO support. Everything server. Hmm. Uh, where? Where? Line number 43. HTTP client instrumentation. That is instrumentation for metrics calculation. Add with the HTTP transport. Okay. So now this particular program seems to be having a good reference. Remember, your cloud model already knows how to build MCP server. Problem is that it was built using something like a 7 months ago, 8 months ago, and so. The version what it knows may not be the latest version, which is maybe having the breaking changes. Or the microservice agent framework beta version might have been used to train the model. So that's why I'm putting little effort to say that anyway, any library vendor comes up with some samples, no? So ASP.NET Core MCP server, I think this can be used. C# SDK samples ASP.NET Core MCP server. Copy, keep it in the references. All can be removed. Good. Now let's write a prompt. Don't ask to build MCP server immediately. No. Let's first say that. Can you analyze directory which has a sample ASP.NET Core based MCP server development which has sample code base? Let me know what you understood. If required, do web research about MCP and .NET way of creations. Go planning mode. So instead of giving the whole C# SDK source code, we taken up, we fed it. Now your context window will not bounce back. So what is saying? A minimal ASP.NET Core based MCP sample using the official C# SDK referenced as a sibling project. It demonstrates 3 core MCP server primitives, tools, resources sampling exposed over streamable HTTP architecture program.cs file. It gives all the instructions. Attribute driven discovery, standard ASP.NET dependency injection container, MCP server injectable, transport, stateful versus stateless matters. Any server client capability, sampling, elicitation, subscription requires stateless equal to false. I have enough information now. What do you want me to do? What would you like me to do? Plan next phase in this reference. Don't do anything. Just understand. You're reviewing it. What it understood. Now you are going to give the instructions. I would like to create a MCP server named Doctors Info MCP server Nexus HA Doctors Info MCP server, which essentially queries, searches, and reads doctors.csv file. I would like to create an MCP server named this based on your understanding. I would like to create an MCP server named Nexus HA Doctor Info MCP server, which essentially queries, reads, searches CSV file, doctor's info from this doctor info from the CSV file, and provide MCP primitives, tools, resources, prompts. Generate one or two prompts, generate one or two resources, generate all required tools for search. Search by name. Okay, search, reading, get retrieving, complete doctor info. Port number is going to be 45,000. Should be bound to 0.0.0.0, all IP addresses. No authentication support required at this moment. Modularize the code. Keep the implementation in SRC folder. Keep all essential files, get ignore, MIT license, readme, troubleshooting, contributing, change log, app settings.json for configurations, dockerize, docker file, docker ignore, docker compose, no health check, ignore docker compose version, multi-stage build, slimmed version of .NET 10.0 runtime. It should be .NET 10.0 based. Do you understand, get all my requirements? Ask me questions in MCQs with 4 to 5 choices. Okay. If you don't want to type like this, talk. Options are available. Only English allowed, not Kannada or Telugu or Tamil. How should the CFC be loaded at runtime? Load once at startup into memory. Okay. What set of search read tools should I expose? Rich set of 6 to 8 tools. Search doctor, multi filter, get doctor by ID, get doctor by code, get list specialties, list branches, list. Okay. What resources and the prompts should I include? Recommended ones. What SDK reference observability setup do you want? NuGet model context protocol ASP.NET Core, pre-release, no telemetry. We don't want any console login should be fine, I believe. Okay. Okay. Plan is ready. Let us review the plan. Very good. So now we have got nice. Accept the plan. Right. Now we have got the MCP server built for our doctor's specific information. So let us go and check .NET Restore, .NET Build, .NET Run. So right now our application is running at the port number 45,000. Okay. And what is the URL we are exposing outside? $45,000 directly. Yes. See there, now I am going to test MCP server is working or not. So we are launching MCP inspector, using which we can connect and test whether MCP server is reachable and working. Streamable HTTP protocol is the one which we are supporting right now, and 45,000. No authentication mechanisms, connect. Now it very clearly say that it is connected, Nexus HA, Doctors MCP. What are the things we are offering? Resources. We have one resource, doctor schema. How does doctor schema look like? Branches list. Okay, what are the prompts we are supporting? Right now we are saying how to find a doctor, how to summarize doctor. They are all prompts are provided. Now we are importantly supporting some tools. Get doctor by ID. You have to paste the GUID. Run tool, it is able to return the data. MCP inspector is able to test your MCP server from the developer perspective. Find by specialty, cardiology, run tool. We can see that all doctors are coming in the form of array, JSON array. So that means MCP server built in .NET working. Did we write any code? You written a prompt? No. That also has to be. Right now we are not gone to the level. That is understanding your expressions. The neural link is coming up. It will be added one. Okay, that will understand. Feeling very sleepy. Build on MCP server for doctors. So, okay. So things are working. Now is the time for us to test this with the Visual Studio Code, Copilot, because Copilot is also agent, no? See this. We'll open a new Visual Studio Code because open folder, temp, create a folder, .vs code, create a file, MCP JSON, add server, HTTP. Doctors MCP. Start. Now in the session, we'll use GPT 5.4 agent mode. Can you get me all doctors who can who are or who provide cardiologist department related services? High thinking. You have reached your additional budget limit. So we will use 0. Somewhere we have 0. GPT 4.1. Now it is saying that, hey, there is a MCP server available, tool available by name, find by specialty. Shall I call that? Yes, call that. Now it is calling the MCP server. It got the information saying that Nisha is providing some services related to cardiologists. So how do you verify that? Let's go to the doctors.csv, cardiologist, Aryan Maharaj. Find by specialty, cardiology. This guy should have come, no, Aryan Maharaj. We will see that because we already have got 200 doctors. Okay. So in the MCP inspector, cardiology, Nisha, okay. So this is the data coming up. We have 10 records or maybe 15 based on the limit. Yeah. But that is limit is higher side, no, 20 records. Anyway, it is returning the data. What is the practice, Dr. Aryan Maharaj do? Aryan, half, that is some partial match also works because that's the way it implemented. What is the practice that Arrange do? So you can also set that always allow. Next time it won't prompt. So that means we are trusting this whole MCP server. Dr. Aryan Maharaj practices cardiology at Nexus HA Bangalore. Who are all available in Chennai related to ophthalmologists? Okay. Now our agent started using MCP server. See how interoperable it is. Now it is getting all the data. Wonderful, isn't it? Good. So if you can build MCP server, your GitHub Copilot also can do some work for you. Right. But this is the built-in agent provided in the GitHub Copilot. Our objective is to build our own agent. So we have built the MCP server successfully. Now I'm going to create another window, open folder, Agentic AI. Let's create a folder called scripts. Move these two files there. Okay, now looks very neat. View command palette, show Claude code, new session. Once again, don't immediately jump into the creation of agent and all. What you are supposed to do? First, tell him saying that, hey, there is a Microsoft agent framework available. First, read this. Can you analyze and understand the following URLs which would help you to get a good knowledge in how to make use of how to make use of Microsoft Agent Framework based agentic AI systems development. Let me know what you understood. Don't do any work, implementation, editing codes, planning mode, go. Actually, I do have a repository. If you want, you can take it as a reference where I demonstrate a lot of Microsoft agent practices to companies like Microsoft. Magic AI practices. See there, this is once again is a Python based. Microsoft also asking us to use Python based only. So MAF 0101, 202, 303, 404. So 303 has MCP server usage. uh, yeah, 202. Yeah, how do we use MCP server in MAF? That teaches. So I will just use this one. No, the rendering has a problem. That is not an issue. If you download it and open it, it should be okay. What happened? Anyway, I do have local folder. Magic A practices V2. Okay. 202. Okay. So this is the customized way to how to make use of MCP server. So we'll use any one of them. Any one of them should be fine. Copy path. All right. Let us understand what it understood. Microsoft Agent Framework overview. What it is? It's a next generation framework for building AI agents. Okay. It is a direct successor of semantic kernel and autogen. Okay. Two top level capabilities, agent and workflow. Building blocks. Model provider supported. OpenAI, Foundry, anything. You installed pip install agent framework, you will get it. Minimal patterns. Add tools. Multi-turn conversation. Semantic kernel in-memory vector store connector. Okay. Two things to understand. Number one, can you read the following notebook which showcases how to use an MCP server in an agent, MAF in an MAF agent. Number two, use in-memory search provider, vector search provider as a tool in the agent. I would like to use Foundry chat client in building agents. Number four, I would like to define three tools. I'm giving four things to. Okay. I would like to define three local tools for get location, get time, and get weather using open source libraries and free. Do you get my points? Any questions? We're still in the planning mode only. What is Foundry chat client? Because we are going to be hosting in the Azure. The Azure service called Foundry service, where models can be hosted and embeddings can be created. Now we need to create embeddings and we have to talk to the LLM. No, where is LLM? So in the Azure Foundry, we are going to be hosting. So I'll be creating that. We need GPT clients, right? Somewhere we have to have the GPT clients. You may not prefer the OpenAI directly. You always prefer to use Azure OpenAI. What I understood, let us understand. Notebook pattern. Loads env file, Azure OpenAI responses client, build agent, vector store as a tool, wrap semantic kernel, in-memory collection, bind auto tool function, switch client, Foundry chat client from agent framework, Foundry, instead of Azure OpenAI responses client. Very good. 3 local tools. Before I plan. Now this guy is asking me to questions. Can you ask me questions? Can you ask me questions in MCQs? Okay. Which free library set should I use for the 3 local tools? IP info, Open Meteo, Zone info. Okay, we'll use that. How should the in-memory vector search store tool work? Search only, seeded with hard-coded FAQs recommended. No, we are going to provide a separate folder Nexus HA, right? Other. Can you look into Nexus HA folder which has PDF documents, and I would like to use Azure OpenAI embeddings to vectorize and use the search similarity search and apply similarity search. Okay. Embeddings. We are going to use Azure OpenAI embeddings recommended. Deliverable. Single new notebook with all 4 tools. One agent recommended. New notebook, but also keep MS Learn MCP tool from 202. So other. Create a new notebook which has which has all 4 tools. Actually, Microsoft has given the complete product documentation in the form of MCP server. That's what this particular demonstration I was trying to showcase here. Microsoft Learn MCP. See there. You can hit this URL so that you can ask any questions. It will give you the appropriate documentation reference. How do I create an Azure storage account using Azure CLI? I'm asking the question. It will give the proper paragraph and give the answer. So that's what it is saying. Should I include that also? All 3 tools. No need for Microsoft Learn MCP, but I shall be providing an MCP server, customized MCP server, which is hosted in http://localhost:45,000 related to doctor's information management. How should 56 Nexus HA PDFs be chunked and indexed? Per page chunks recommended. Okay. What is the transport type and auth format for localhost MCP server? Streamable HTTP, no auth. When should the PDF document index be built? Build once at notebook startup, cache to the disk. Okay, we'll use that. Should I add a .env.example listing the expected variables? Yes. Okay, let us come up with the plan and we'll read it. Users Foundry client, 3 local tools, search knowledge with the Access HA PDFs, connect MCP server, deliverable is going to create an IPONB, env example, and a pickle file basically it has got the embeddings. Okay. All right. Now we can start the development. Auto accept. Meantime, we'll go to the Azure and create resources required for this notebook. I'm going to create a new resource group name, HA training resource group, West US. Create a new resource of type Foundry, Microsoft Foundry. HA Foundry V10, West US. This already exists, it seems. V20. HA Foundry project. Review and create. Create. Right. Now the resource is created successfully. Let's go to the Foundry portal. Okay. Right. Now we are going to deploy the GPT model in our subscription. Build, deployments, deploy a base model. Let us search for GPT-4o. Deploy default settings. Now the deployment is completed. GPT 4.0 in our host, in our subscription. Now we need to deploy the embedding model also. Text embedding small should be fine. Default settings. Right. And the home, we have the project endpoint. Copy that. Now we are ready to provide the settings. Three is it? Text embedding 3. Okay. Right. So once it is created, we'll wait for the files to be added. We'll give one more information because we already activated the UV, nothing but the Python version management. So let me just give some details. I have already activated UV based Python, UV based virtual environment 3.12. So make sure that you use UV to install all packages. So it's a third time I'm doing the update in Visual Studio Code within a 1 week actually. So oh my God, it is writing somewhere like E SQL magic a practice MF202 year builder example, right? It's supposed to write here, no? I want you to work in the current workspace folder, not C:/practices folder. Create a file named .enbuilder example in the current workspace. Create a folder named experiments and use create the notebook in there. Create the notebook in there. So it is asking for the OpenAI embedding model details. Let us provide them. OpenAI API key embedding model. Right. Now we'll change this notebook name equal to patient info, patient A assistant, A agent dot IPONB. What are the use cases it has demonstrated? Let's verify that. You are a local, okay. Where am I right now and what is the weather like here? Which Nexus HA branches have an oncology department? List all the cardiology doctors in the BLR branch. What is the current local time? We'll add one more. I'm having cough. Yeah, chest pain. What should I do? All right. Let us take any one of the Nexus Chennai branch. Uh, what are the insurance provider they supported? ICICI Lombard. Let's say that does the Chennai branch support ICICI Lombard insurance provisioning? Insurance provisioning. Okay, good. Now we have got several questions, sample questions asked. Let us try. So first is that we need to make sure that all the packages are installed. Let me ask, did you update local workspace specific Pi project OML about all dependencies? Because it was working on the SQL and practices folder, right? So it might have not done that. See, no. Great. UV sync. Did it install all the dependencies? UV sync. It will, yeah. So UV list. Let's see, agent framework is installed. Yes, it is installed. Now is the time for us to check the notebook. First, let's select the kernel, which is nothing but our Python virtual environment. We load all the dependencies, environment variables. Install. It is taking time. So let us close the folder and open it once again. Right. Now it says that yes, we loaded all the packages, all the environment variables are up to date. A tool which provides the location information. Right now you are located in Bangalore, Karnataka, this particular latitude, longitude, based on the IP address. Current time information, there is a problem. So let us now express this problem. Okay. So clear all output, restart. So some packages are missing, that's why it is giving an error. Great. Now we can see the time. Current weather information based on the location. Right now is 30 degrees Celsius. We are now going to be preparing the vectorized data store for our PDF documents. Totally we have got 56 PDFs. All are embeddings created, kept it in the pickle file. A tool which basically helps you to search knowledge. And then doctors MCP. MCP URL is already configured in the env file. Build the Foundry client. Okay. Go. Now it's a for loop. We are basically looping through all the conversation one by one. Where am I right now and what is the weather like here? So it should be returning the response. It will call two tools. A tool which returns the current location, a tool which returns the location based weather information. You are in Bangalore and the weather is 30 degrees Celsius. Which Nexus HA branches have the oncology department? Nexus HA Bangalore, Mumbai, and it gets the citation source also. Both branches offer multidisciplinary cancer care. And list the cardiology doctors with BLR branch, returning the data. Scrollable elements. What is the current local time in Bangalore branch? The current local time in Bangalore branch is 3:36, correct? And I'm having a chest pain. What should I do? For chest pain, you should consult a cardiologist immediately. Here are the top recommendations. Nisha Tanton and Aisha Ashani Tiwari and Kapat Konda. So we do now have got the results. Does the Chennai branch have got ICICI Lombard insurance providers? The information retrieved doesn't specify whether the Nexus HA Chennai support ICICI Lombard insurance provider. It is advised to contact the branch directly. We have had, right? It is in the, yeah. See there, ICICI Lombard. Empaneled insurers. Ideally should be returning the data. So that means your vector database is not able to return the similarity match with a particular score. Either you have to change the in-memory vector store to something else, like a quadrant or the well-known vector databases, or Azure AI search. Now we have got the agent ready. It is able to call the appropriate tools, right? Did we write any code? No. We just give appropriate references. helped AI model to do the work. Got the point? Now, how are we going to expose this as a REST API so that we can call that in our application? For example, for demo purposes, you don't have to build the REST API or the what you can say a complex REST React application. And so Python has provided a tool called or open source implementation called Streamlit, using which we can build beautiful, good UI faster so that you can easily prototype. Remember, this is not for production, this is for prototyping purposes. So, how do you verify that your agent is working? You can just prototype the UI, things are working, then you can start exposing as a REST API, then consume it in our proper React application anyway. Let's see how we can do that. So, I'm going to go ahead with Cloud code, existing code. Can you create a simple and interactive, simple and professional Streamlit based UI that supports the agent capabilities that we have built in the notebook, and create the keep the script agent underscore UI.py under scripts folder. So you don't have to complexify the whole scenario building a REST API. REST API in this sense, you should need a host, right? Then you have to have a UI to consume the REST API. That is going to be time consuming, effort, and time to market. So that's why we have a Streamlit. There are 3 UI frameworks we strongly recommend in the Python world for UI: Streamlit, Chainlit, and Gradio. So Streamlit is very commonly used. That's why I wanted to showcase that with the Streamlit now. Great. Now within no time we got the Streamlit UI. Let's see how it really works. Streamlit run script slash agent UI.py. Wonderful. Okay, let us ask the questions. So it is working. Behind the scenes, it is going to use our the notebook only, the notebook UI only. So it says that there is a problem on a different context, token variable context. Okay, let us read the error. Right. Now we'll just run once again. UV run, Streamlit run, script slash agents. What's the problem here? There is a clean start. Streamlit is serving the two. Now let us take a screenshot. Same error. But we never added a telemetry support anywhere. There we go. Now we got the results. No, at the notebook level we created the pickle file for the first time, so it is cached and used, but now it become a Streamlit application, so it has to prepare the whole embeddings, then respond to that. Next time when you ask the questions, it will be able to answer the response quite faster. So it is basically creating the open embeddings. So first time it will take some time, but you should have already got the pickle file. You should be able to load it. Oh, there is an error occurred. Let us try to find out. Can you configure the script to load the pickle file created for embeddings? Done. UV run Streamlit run scripts. So agent is now, oh, set the cache in .env. Oh, wait a minute. PDF root is, that is the root. Okay, that is not a problem. Index cache, pickle file. So most likely there's some maybe some loop related some error occurred. That's what I can see that. Otherwise, I don't see any error in the program because agent was working in the notebook. Doctor server is not running. Localhost 45,000. It is running, right? It is running. 45,000 is running. UV run Streamlit run script agentic a.py. New conversation. This question is related to not MCP server. This is related to our PDF only, no? Isn't it? New conversation. This is related to MCP server. Sorry, this is related to normal tools. Previously it was working, so now if it doesn't work out, that something might have happened in the looping. Even for local tools, it is still rolling. See, when we press Control C, it should ideally come out. So there may be some loop happened. It is basically stuck in there. Yeah, 2 more minutes. We'll go ahead with the coffee break. All right, it is almost completed. I will go ahead to the coffee break, and meantime, I will fix it in the break time. Okay, let's go ahead to the break.